Hey all, and this is the Battle for Excalibur event. This is a Light Commander event and Arcane Killer. So I made up a few teams to start with. That's a Crusade team, then a couple of test teams for the bosses. None of my teams are especially effective. I am kind of struggling with this event, unfortunately. So for the Crusade, lead card, Destined Duo. This is a really good card, actually. I'm glad I went for this deck. A gemful deck of sorts. Starborn Sentinels, another ultimate form, freezes enemies, creates power gems passively. Curators of Pain, this is the card you need for the killer skill. Well, this is the only card I have, should I say, that's Light Commander and Arcane Killer. Well, out of the ultimate forms anyway. So I kind of have to use this. It's only a 400% bonus. The battle skill is pretty weak as well, but there's not much else I can really do here. I kind of have to use it. Afterlife Alliance, another very good card. Spawns a lot of power gems passively. And then Haunted Hunters. Creates a lot of power gems. Decent cards. That's for the Crusade. That's getting me through the Crusades pretty quickly. There we go. It did actually just crash then, unfortunately. Don't know why it crashed. Seems to be crashing a lot recently, but these are all just generic Light Commander relics. Doesn't really matter what relics you have, as long as they're Light Commander of sorts. This is just to get through the Crusade as quickly as possible. So let's move on to the other teams. I've tried a deck revolving around Immortal Killer for the solo bosses. The problem is solo bosses have weakens, so this card is pretty much needed. Inked Contingent, Dispel Weaken, or you can also use the main hero from the current deck if you have it to Dispel Weaken. Then 2 cards from the Destined Duo deck, Immortal Killer, card for the killer skill, Creators of Pain, and then High Performance Unit Area to get the boost. The boost is not actually that effective anymore, unfortunately, so this is not an especially good deck. And then for the relics, you need relics that break arcane shields. So there we go, that breaks 2, that other one breaks 2, then this one breaks 1, and again breaks 1. And then finally, I have an Immortal Killer relic at the end, just to spawn a few dark power gems and allow me to get High Performance Unit Area up. You need a few dark gems, otherwise you won't be able to use that card. For the guild bosses, I'm trying something different. You need a fear counter for the guild bosses, so this card does the trick nicely. And as it's 4 pink stars, it's got a level 8 counter on it, so it normally dispels fear. Again, Curators of Pain, Destined Duo, Haunted Hunters, and then Afterlife Alliance. So it doesn't do that much damage on the guild bosses, but it does counter fear, and fear is really annoying. Other options you could try, if you have the event deck, try putting not High Performance Unit Area, Circuit Break Hilaria on the team. This one has a nice boost to Arcane Killer. You could try this card with 4 event cards and see what sort of damage you do. But I think from what I've seen of the event deck, it's the sort of deck that's best mixed with other ultimate forms. I'll move on to that a bit later once I reach the end of the video. So there we go, that's the teams I will be using for this event. Unfortunately, I don't have many gems, so I will not be opening the vault at the current time. So let's move on to the actual event. So here we go with the actual event. I might as well just get straight on with the Carillion map. This event, I will be focusing on the Carillion map and guild bosses. I will not be focusing on ultimates. My deck is simply not good enough for that. So let's use one of the ultimate forms from the current deck and see what this does. or show you what this does, should I say. It actually has a rather nice attack bonus, but it only affects one card. So, as you can probably imagine, this seems like the sort of deck that should be used with other ultimates or another deck. Here's the battle skill. Increases their damage by 500% for 2 turns. So let's just get through the normal enemies first, and then I'll show you what this does. These are really easy. Doesn't really matter what I do here. So you can see the damage is around the 4 to 7 billion mark. Again, the normal enemies don't really need to use a lot here. If you pay attention to the damage at this point, though, you will see a significant increase. I'll use this card first. Divine Sovereigns. And if you pay attention to Haunted Hunters and the damage this card now does, you'll be quite surprised. Might as well use all the cards. You'll see it's around 5 times more than all the other cards. So that's what the ultimate form from this deck does. And if you're taking it into Crusade, just save it for the bosses, and then you should fly through the Crusade really quickly without any problems. So I'm now going to go and get a solo boss up. It might take a bit of time, but we will see. Alright, so I finally have a solo boss up. It took quite a long time to get this up. Not sure why the game was being really stingy with the solo bosses. The important thing here, though, is that you must have some way of removing Weaken. You can either use the main hero from the current deck, or in this instance, as I've already mentioned, Inked Contingent removes it. And it's also a decent card, so it's quite good in this situation. Let's give this a go and see how I do on the boss. In testing, this team can kill the boss, but it can't kill it easily, so let's see how I get on with this. So the important thing to do at the start is to match Dark Gems. At that point, you want to hope that Weaken counters. In this instance, it did not, unsurprisingly. So it's going to play a bit rough this time by the looks of it. Oh, there we go. It countered, but I'm nearly out of health, so yeah, maybe not the best. Right, let's see what this does anyway. That's the important part. Lots of power gems. So it is kind of a weird deck, in all honesty. It's the best I can make up out of the cards I have, unfortunately, but yeah, let's see. Well, 23, 13. Nice damage reduction this time, so I'll be able to get another attack out. Weaken really is an absolute pain, though. I'm sure they just put Weaken on the bosses to annoy everyone. They love doing that. Now the problem I'm going to have here is, you might see I don't have that many Dark Gems. And the damage is alright. It's not special though, and the big problem is if Weaken doesn't counter, but it's gone okay. after the initial horrible start, seems to be doing alright now. There's that full crush. Again, the difficult part, trying to find dark gems. I'm hoping some dark gems will somehow match, but I don't think that's going to happen. So it wasn't a bad effort in all fairness. Could have been better, but wasn't a total disaster. Oh, I might be able to get another attack out actually. Right. You never know, I might kill it. There's a chance, slim chance, but there is a chance. Right, here we go. Here we go. See that damage number fly up. Go on. You know you want to. Ah. Well, almost. Not bad in all fairness. I mean, that start to that battle was horrible. So I'm going to go and attack it again. Go and quickly finish it off. So the main problem is that I'm forced to use a team that counters weaken. This time though I've got a bit lucky as high performance unit area has not been weakened. The other thing that's letting me down here is the very weak killer skill. Explains why the damage is so low. This will kill it though now. There we go. Finish it off like so. Well, hopefully anyway. Takes a bit of time with that gemfall animation, but it does kill it eventually. So I actually got 25% in the end on that. The problem is it ate more keys than I really wanted to use. So here we go with guild bosses. I'm going to go and hit the diamond boss. Going to use a slightly different team. That was the team I used for the solo. This is the team I'm using for the guild boss. It's basically just ultimate forms. I don't need to worry about weaken with the guild bosses. However, they do have fear, so beware of that. They also have judgment, which is actually quite annoying. Especially if you're using one key on the boss. Let's give this a go anyway. Let's see what happens. So I think the way to play this is turn 1, match anything. Turn 2, use Afterlife Alliance. Yeah, this is the problem. It counts as a heal each turn, so Judgment is a bit annoying. And then on turn 3, let's start hitting and see what happens. Just though you need a good fear counter, otherwise you're going to have problems here. So there we go. It's chipping it down basically. The high performance unit area team is probably more effective in some ways, but this spawns more power gems and can hit more often, so it's a close call between them both, I guess. I probably won't be focusing too much on guild bosses. We have a lot of hitters here already. And as you can see from this, the damage really isn't that good, but it's the best I could do, unfortunately, for this event. Partly due to the very weak killer skill. So let's get the Afterlife Alliance skill up again. Get that damage immunity skill. Peer is countering every single time, which is good. One of the benefits of having a 4 pink star ultimate form. Again, the damage is not bad. It's not good, but it is chipping it down. But then Judgment hits after each turn, causing my health to drop at a rather rapid rate. This really is too slow for guild bosses. So yeah, I will be tagging for most of the event. I did want to give this a go though, and see what sort of damage it actually does. This time I'm not going to wait for all the cards to be active. See what sort of damage this does. Yeah, not much damage there. You can probably see that. So possibly need a judgment counter as well. Difficult to say. Or some way of healing. Another option. I might win though. I'm getting out enough attacks. Chipping it down nice and slowly. If I had a decent set of Arcane Killer cards, I would use Circuit Break Hilaria on the team and probably go with that as my main deck, but I don't have many decent Arcane Killer-like cards, unfortunately, so that's not really an option for me for this event. One of the main problems with being a free player is that I sometimes don't have the cards you really need. It's going to be close. I think I'm going to die. It's going to be really close. What do you think? Will I win? I've got an ultimate gem up now, so go on, match quickly. Yeah, there we go. It did kill it. It took a long time, but it did kill it. So yeah, maybe not the most effective deck, but it will get there in the end. I will definitely be tagging the guild bosses this event though. That is way too slow, unfortunately. So let's have a look at the event rewards. They've been revised this time from the last set of rewards. It was in the news feed. This time around, it's for GVG defense, so Bastions and Wardens. The Bastions are pretty good, actually. A nice selection there, even though you don't get many of each type of Bastion. There we go. So the treasure trove has the Wisp and Wisp shards in it this time around. That's one of the main changes they made to the collection. Lots of Wardens. Let's go and collect the last one and see what Warden I actually get from this. It won't be any good, but it'll be interesting to see. Wow, that really is an old one. That's back in the old Gen 2 days. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be good, but it was worth having a look. And now I'm going to find out if it's a Warden or Dragoon this time around. I am in Emperors again. Oh, it's Dark Dragoon. Ooh. Spell Power Gem Science. I would love to see what this specialises into. My main attack team is Dark. Plus it's Immortal Killer, so yeah, I'm liking the look of this Dragoon. It's definitely one I'm going to work hard to get for sure. And it might well be the next Dragoon I work on. So let's have a look at the event deck in more detail. Firstly, you may have had one of these bonuses, or vault bonuses, or whatever you want to call it. 24 hours only, you've unlocked the rare vault special. It includes a guaranteed main hero. Now do be a bit careful with this. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, is that a master hero for 2,000 gems? But no, it's a main hero, not a master hero, so just be a bit careful of that. So the event deck over here, I could get one of the cards if I wanted to. I may well get this deck, I don't know yet. Creates power gems and the bonus attack. Plus it has a revive skill on it. So yeah, this really is a deck that should be used with other decks, by the looks of it. I mean, I could get Lady of the Lake and use that with my current team, as that would give a massive attack bonus to one of the cards. I might well do that yet. I would definitely do it if it had Dispel Weaken on the card, but it's Dispel Fear. And then consider getting the second event card once I have enough Season Choice coins later on. Divine Sovereigns, bonus attack, plenty of power gems, plus that boost, 500% damage. So yeah, it looks like a good deck if I'm being honest, but you need other cards to make this deck work. And there we go, that about covers this video. I hope that was helpful. As always, if you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this, please let me know in the comments, especially if you can think of a better team that I can make up out of older cards. And thanks for watching.